So you're thinking about moving to the South Carolina Lowcountry, but you're worried about hurricanes. Well, that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. And it's actually a very timely video because the day that I'm filming this, we're actually getting ready for a potential hurricane or a tropical storm hitting the South Carolina coast tomorrow. So as I'm filming this, I'm actually also out preparing myself. So it'll be really easy to share this information as I go through and get prepared myself. So without further ado, let's keep going. Do you want to know everything there is to know about the South Carolina Lowcountry, whether it's Bluffton, Beaufort, Hilton Head Island, or Jasper County? Then subscribe below and tap that bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know everything about the South Carolina Lowcountry. My name is David Simcox, host of Lowcountry Lifestyles and a local realtor. I get calls and emails every day from people just like you and you and you looking to make their move here, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 3 days or 3 months, give me a call, shoot me an email, send me a text, or book a Zoom call, all in the description below, so I can help you find your Lowcountry lifestyle. In today's video, we're going to be talking about hurricanes. And believe it or not, as beautiful as it is here on the beach today, we have a tropical storm rolling in tomorrow. So the schools are closed tomorrow and the next day. A lot of businesses are kind of starting to get prepared. You know, there's still a few people out on the beach today, but it's pretty quiet out here. The lifeguards are out picking up chairs and getting things put away. And I'm going to be getting my own house together and ready later this afternoon and this evening. So I thought, what better time than to share with you guys a little bit of information about hurricanes. Now, I know that people moving from New York, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, California, the Midwest, Switzerland, wherever it's at, you've got your own things to worry about, whether it's wildfires or volcanoes or earthquakes or tornadoes or whatever you deal with, just hailstorms coming out of nowhere if you live down in Texas. Here in the Southeast, we have to deal with hurricanes, and it's a part of life. And I lived in Florida before I came here, and now I'm in South Carolina. So it's always been a part of my life for like the last 20 plus years, 25 years. And it's not that big of a deal if you take the proper precautions. So we're gonna talk about some of those precautions today. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to monitor the local news and the local Facebook pages and kind of see what the status of the storm is, see if it's going to be a tropical storm, if it's going to be a level 1, a level 2, a level 3, what direction it's coming from, and normally like the town of Bluffton or Hilton Head will have emergency information available so that they'll let you know kind of as the storm is progressing, you know, what things are looking like and kind of what some of the best practices should be. And I'll put a picture up here in just a second so you can see what those websites are and where you can go for more information. All right, number 2, you have to have an emergency kit. And in your emergency kit, you should have water as a bare minimum, but you should have flashlights, you should have batteries. If you have any medications, make sure you have your medications and make sure that you have enough available to last you a while after the storm. In case there is any sustained damage and maybe the power doesn't come on for a while or they don't reopen businesses, make sure you have enough medication to last you through that. I don't recommend having candles because, you know, candles could have disastrous results if something catches fire and the fire department can't get out to you because of winds or rain or whatever damage. So maybe avoid the candles. All right, number 3 is you want to get your house and your property ready. So depending on the severity of the storm, you might want to put up your hurricane shutters. Around here, if it's just a tropical storm, a lot of times people do not put up their hurricane shutters, but that's a personal choice if you want to board up and get ready in that way. You'll also want to put away any sort of things in your yard that could become flying projectiles. If you have any garden tools or any pool chairs, things like that, umbrellas. Just put all that away in your shed or put it in your garage, and just make sure there's nothing laying around your yard that could become a flying object. And also, just make sure that everything is put away, and maybe even trim up some of the loose branches on trees that could break or that could bust off and fly through the air. All right, number 4, have an evacuation plan and know your evacuation routes. So sometimes they'll divide up neighborhoods and even the city into different zones, and a lot of times they will shut down certain roads so they're only going one direction if they have to get people out of an area going to another area. Just know a lot of that information is going to be on the government websites and on the government Facebook pages. So just know what direction those traffic streams are going to be going and what your evacuation route is. All right, number 5, have fuel for your vehicles and fuel for your generator, or have a generator if you need one. So a lot of people have whole house generators that they can run most of their major things in their home on a whole house generator, or a lot of people also buy generators from Lowe's or Home Depot that they could at least plug their refrigerator into. And if you have a generator, maybe test it before the storm comes and make sure it's working, and make sure that you have fuel for it. And make sure your cars are gassed up so that if you need to go somewhere after the storm and the gas stations are shut down, you'll have a full tank of gas and you're not going to get stranded. All right, number 6, let's talk about communication. So number 1, have your cell phone completely charged up before the storm, and maybe consider having a backup charger, like one that doesn't plug into an outlet, like a battery charger that you can plug your phone into and get another charge in case the power doesn't come back on until after the storm. Maybe it's a day or 2 after the storm. You want to make sure you can get your phone back up and running. Also, know where your family members are and have a plan to get in communication with them. We stay up to date with our neighbors. You might even consider having like a CB radio that you can share with a neighbor to check on each other back and forth and just make sure that everybody's okay. But know where your folks are at and have a way to get in touch with them. All right, number 7, protect your property. So if you have any really valuable items like jewelry or documents or family heirlooms or family photos, probably best to go ahead and lock those up in a safe and make sure they're in watertight containers. Just God forbid, if something happened and you had some flooding or you had some windows that blew in and you had water come in the house, just make sure that your really valuable items are secured in watertight containers or in a safe. All right, number 8, you want to stock up on supplies. So make sure you have enough food and water and drinks and baby supplies and diapers and wipes and things that your kids might need. Make sure you have at least, maybe a week's worth. That doesn't mean that you have to go to the grocery store and you have to completely clean out all the toilet paper on the shelf. I know that's happened in the past. I promise you, if you're without power and everything goes haywire, toilet paper is not something that you're going to run out of if you've got 1,000 rolls, okay? But definitely make sure you have at least a week's supply of all the things that are essential. Definitely food and water and medical supplies and things your kids might need, like diapers and baby food and things like that. All right, number 9, be prepared for power outages. Don't freak out, it happens. When the power goes out, do not think that the world is coming to an end. It's gonna be okay. It might come back on, or you might have to wait a day or 2 till after the storm, but just have a plan in place. Like I said, you might need a generator to get some power for your fridge. You might need some flashlights. You might need some chargers for your phones. Just be prepared. When you're prepared, things will go so much smoother. All right, number 10, stay indoors during the storm. Do not be a thrill seeker. Do not go out and try to look at the scenery. Don't go out and try to watch the storm. I know some people want to be like the storm chaser and walk out in the wind and hang on to the flagpole and take a selfie video to show all their friends back home that they're in the middle of a hurricane. But just don't be that guy, don't be that gal. Stay inside, stay safe. Listen to the emergency updates on the radio so you'll know when it is safe to come out and when it's safe to go about your day. But again, don't be the thrill seeker that's out there trying to get some good Instagram footage in the middle of the storm. All right, and lastly, after the storm, wait until you have official clearance to go out and go check on things, because there could be some down power lines, there could be trees that have fallen over the road. Maybe they're not stable yet and they could still crack and fall. So don't get close to any down trees, don't get close to any down power lines. If there's standing water, I would not be out walking in like knee deep or waist deep water. You don't know what's under that water. You don't know if there's electrical lines. You don't know what you could step on. So wait until you get an all clear from government officials before you go out and kind of assess any damages. Thank you for staying till the end of this video, and I hope you learned a little something about hurricane preparedness here in the South Carolina Lowcountry. Again, I'm not the official word on this matter, so if you want the official word, make sure you go to the government websites and get the exact evacuation plans. If there is a hurricane coming, a real 1, 2, 3, whatever, I do recommend evacuating, heading out, find some family, go take a little vacation somewhere. Some people do stay, but don't let hurricane season scare you out of living in South Carolina and in the Lowcountry. This is one of the most beautiful parts of the United States. And yes, there are hurricanes that come through every few years, and every year does have a hurricane season. So it's a part of life here. But you know, when you compare it to some of the other places around the United States that have to deal with wildfires and tornadoes and hailstorms and earthquakes and everything else that goes on in the world, you know, it's just a part of life, and it's something we have to deal with. So I hope this was informative for you, and if I can help you find your Lowcountry lifestyle, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text, or you can book a Zoom call, all in the description below. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest in the South Carolina Lowcountry, be sure and like, subscribe, and tap that bell for notifications. My name is David Simcox. It's been a pleasure spending time with you, and I hope to see you on the next video.